During World War II, crossing a river under enemy fire was one of the most dangerous and unpredictable tasks a soldier could face. Bridges were often destroyed, currents were strong, and every step could be the difference between life and death. To meet this challenge, militaries developed specialized river crossing kits, compact, practical, and meticulously designed sets of tools and equipment that few civilians have ever seen or understood. These kits were not just about survival. They were about efficiency, speed, and ingenuity in one of the most demanding environments imaginable. Why river crossings were so critical and deadly during World War II. Rivers acted as natural defensive lines. They slowed advancing troops, limited maneuverability, and exposed soldiers to enemy fire. Commanders quickly realized that having personnel capable of crossing rivers safely and efficiently could determine the outcome of campaigns. However, the rivers were not static obstacles. Flooding, ice, mud and debris created constantly changing conditions. Conventional tools like ropes or boats were often insufficient. The solution came in the form of a carefully assembled kit designed to adapt to these challenges, combining lightweight materials with multifunctional equipment that could be carried and deployed rapidly. So, let's talk about what the river crossing kit actually contained, and well, why each item really mattered. The core of the kit was, honestly, surprisingly compact. Soldiers typically carried inflatable or collapsible rafts, ropes, canvas waterproof sacks, and personal flotation devices. Now, some kits included small wooden planks or foldable ladders to create makeshift pontoons or stepping platforms. You'd also find tools like wire cutters, mallets and stakes. These were used to stabilize rafts or anchor ropes in fast currents. Each item had a dual purpose. It could serve a practical role in crossing the river while also providing safety or support in case of accidents. The real genius, if you ask me, lay in the careful balance of weight, versatility and redundancy. Soldiers could improvise if one element failed, yet still maintain operational effectiveness. So, how did soldiers actually use these kits in practical scenarios? Well, deployment required both preparation and skill. Soldiers would select a crossing point based on the current depth and, of course, cover from enemy observation. Inflatable or foldable rafts were then assembled and anchored using ropes or stakes. Teams used a combination of paddling pole pushing and rope guidance to maneuver across swift currents. Equipment like canvas bags served as both flotation devices and waterproof containers for weapons ammunition or communications gear. Individual soldiers learned to move quickly, keeping bodies low and equipment secure, reducing exposure and increasing survival chances. Journals and after-action reports describe instances where these kits allowed units to cross under heavy fire while carrying everything from rifles to radios, demonstrating their effectiveness. Why the kit's design emphasized both portability and versatility. Weight was a constant concern. Soldiers could not carry oversized or cumbersome tools over long distances before reaching a river. Every component had to justify its place in the kit. Inflatable rafts were small when packed, ropes were strong but lightweight, and planks or ladders were foldable or modular. Versatility mattered, because rivers varied widely. Some were shallow, others deep, icy or rapid, and the kit really had to perform under all conditions. Now, how can you apply lessons from the World War II river crossing kit today? Well, modern survivalists, campers, and even backyard enthusiasts can actually take inspiration from these clever designs. The principle of combining lightweight, multifunctional tools with a bit of improvisation is honestly universally applicable. For example, a collapsible raft, some sturdy ropes and waterproof containers can form a practical kit for emergency river or creek crossings during your outdoor adventures. So, learning to anchor and stabilize equipment, distribute weight efficiently, and move with coordinated teamwork. Well, all of that translates directly from historical military practice to, modern recreational or even emergency scenarios. Understanding these principles also encourages planning and situational awareness, which are really critical skills for any outdoor excursion. Why this forgotten river crossing technique matters for history and preparedness, you might wonder. The World War II river crossing kit. Well, it really illustrates how ingenuity and practical design can overcome environmental challenges. It's a reminder that survival isn't always about brute strength or having the latest gadgets. Really, it's about using the right tools intelligently. How practicing these methods can, improve modern outdoor skills. By building a miniature version of a river crossing kit or practicing rope anchoring and raft assembly in safe conditions, you can develop hands-on skills that combine problem-solving, teamwork, and, honestly, a bit of improvisation. Even if you never face a swift river, the practice strengthens your ability to assess risks, use limited resources creatively, and execute plans under pressure. These are timeless skills, connecting past military ingenuity with, modern-day survivalism. If this exploration into the World War II river crossing kit gave you new insights and practical takeaways, do consider subscribing to the channel. And share this video with fellow history enthusiasts, survivalists and backyard adventurers so that these nearly forgotten techniques continue to educate and inspire those who want to, combine historical knowledge with real-world outdoor skills.